The year was 1918, and the last breath of war lingered like smoke over southern Europe. The small village of Castellara, nestled among rolling olive fields and ancient stone houses, had known both peace and loss in equal measure. Among its people lived Elena di Fiori, a young woman with eyes like the deep blue of the Mediterranean Sea and hair that fell in soft waves the color of chestnut honey. Her family owned a modest vineyard on the hilltop, where the scent of grapes mingled with rosemary carried by the evening wind. Elena's life was quiet, filled with the rhythm of harvests and the songs of the church bells. But her heart was restless. Each day she would climb to the old watchtower overlooking the valley and stare at the horizon, toward the road where soldiers sometimes passed, heading home from the Great War. And one autumn evening, fate answered her silent yearning. A horse appeared on the road, carrying a man in a tattered uniform. His coat bore the insignia of the Italian army. His face was wary, but his posture proud. His name was Luca, a soldier returning from the front lines in France. His horse stumbled near the vineyard, and Elena, startled yet curious, rushed to help. When their eyes met, the world around them seemed to pause. Elena asked softly, "You're hurt?" Luca smiled faintly. "Only tired, Signorina. The war has ended, but it feels as though it still lives inside us." She offered him water, then food, and insisted he rest beneath the olive trees. That evening, under a sky painted gold and crimson, they talked, first cautiously, then openly, like two souls rediscovering what it meant to be human. Luca told her about the trenches, about comrades who never came home, and about the dream that had kept him alive, to one day find a place where peace still existed. Elena whispered, "Then maybe you found it." Days turned into weeks. Luca helped Elena's father in the vineyard, learning to prune vines instead of loading rifles. He smiled more often now, his laughter echoed through the valley like sunlight. The villagers whispered about the soldier and the vintner's daughter, not unkindly, but with the curiosity of those who have seen love bloom in unlikely soil. As the grape harvest began, Luca and Elena worked side by side. Their hands brushed when they reached for the same cluster. Their eyes met too often for it to be mere chance. Yet neither dared to speak of love, not yet. One evening, after the harvest festival, they walked to the ancient watchtower. The moon was full, bathing the olive fields in silver. Luca turned to her and said, "Elena, I came here broken. You've given me back more than rest, you've given me hope." Her heart raced. "And what will you do now?" He hesitated. "I've been offered work in the city. It's a chance to start again. But I don't know if I can leave Castellara, or you." Elena took his hand. "Then don't." That night, under the whispering branches of the olive trees, they shared their first kiss, a promise of a future neither could yet name. But happiness, as history teaches, is never without its trials. Winter came harsh and sudden. The vineyards froze, and Elena's father fell ill. The village doctor could not save him, and within weeks, he was gone. Elena was left with her mother, the vineyard, and debts she did not understand how to pay. Luca stayed, refusing to leave her side. Yet his past followed him. Letters from the capital, a request to return to service as an officer in the Reconstruction Corps. The country needed men like him. He wanted to stay, but duty pulled at him like a shadow. One cold morning, he found Elena in the vineyard, her hands raw from pruning the frozen vines. "Elena," he said softly, "they're calling me back. Just for a few months," they said, "to help rebuild what's been lost." Her eyes filled with quiet tears. You've already rebuilt enough, Luca. My heart, my life, you rebuilt those. He stepped closer, cupping her face in his gloved hands. I'll come back. I swear it. She smiled through her tears. Then go. And make the world worthy of coming home too. The months stretched into a year. Letters came, then stopped. The world was changing. Telegraphs broke, roads were destroyed, rumors spread. Some said Luca had been sent north. Others whispered he had been lost to another border. Conflict. Elena refused to believe. Each morning, she walked to the watchtower and looked toward the road. Seasons changed, spring's blossoms. Summer's gold, autumn's red, winter's white, but still she waited. The vineyard survived through her strength. She worked until her hands bled, kept her mother safe, and tended to the vines as Luca had taught her. She bottled her first wine and called it La Promessa, the promise. It was the spring of 1920 when she finally heard the hoofbeats again. The villagers rushed to the road. A rider had come, dusty and sunburned, but alive. Elena's breath caught. It was Luca. He dismounted, stumbled, then ran. And she ran too, her shawl slipping from her shoulders as she threw herself into his arms. Neither spoke for a long while. They didn't need words. The world around them blurred into birdsong and sunlight. At last, he whispered, "You waited." And she replied, smiling through tears, "You promised." In the years that followed, the vineyard flourished. The wine La Promessa became known across the region, a symbol of endurance and devotion. Luca built a small stone house beside the vineyard, where laughter replaced silence, and music returned to Castellara. They married in the small chapel overlooking the valley. The whole village came, old women tossing olive branches, children running barefoot, bells ringing like heaven itself had joined in celebration. That night, under a sky scattered with stars, Luca took Elena's hand and led her to the watchtower once more. "This was where I first saw the world through your eyes," he said softly. "A world worth living for." She rested her head on his shoulder. "And this," she whispered, "is where it all began. And where it will always belong." Years passed, their love deepened, and their story became legend among the vineyards. Travelers who tasted La Promessa would often ask about its name, and locals would smile and say, it was made from the promise of two hearts that waited for peace, and found it. Epilogue. When the olive trees bloomed each spring, Elena and Luca would walk hand in hand through the fields, their laughter blending with the hum of bees and the song of wind. Time, gentle and merciful, carved lines on their faces but left their hearts untouched. And when their grandchildren asked, "Nonna, Nonno, is your story true?" Luca would wink and pour a little wine, saying, "It's true enough to taste, and that's all love ever needs."